you grew up in California,
Yeah, yeah,
and
absolutely.
what was the music in your house when you grew up? What were your parents playing, and what were they playing it on?
Well, actually, in my house, I really grew up in the '80s, and really started with the cassette craze in the '80s. Like cassettes, recording things off the radio, cassettes in the little flea markets and the drugstores and different convenience stores. Just cassettes, nothing but cassettes. That was a little bit before CDs, so that's the kind of generation I grew up with. And my parents, it was either albums from my brother or either maybe a small little cheap record player I would play some things on. But my biggest things, what my personal musical journey was really started out on cassettes.
Yeah.
I mean,
So what were you listening to? What was were you listening to your brother's music, or did you find your own music pretty soon? Or?
well, my brother was quite a bit older. He was like 17 years older. So really, my first things that I listened to was very gospel music, religious music was really the thing, because my father was a pastor, so I had a real connection with a lot of the songs in church, a lot of the traditional gospel songs, as well as, what they listened to in their free time was all gospel music, because they felt like there was a great divide between worldly music, which is, B.B. King and T-Bone Walker, and religious music, which is like Shirley Caesar, the Dixie Hummingbirds, and the Five Blind Boys. So it was a lot of that. Shirley Caesar, the Hawkins family, the Five Blind Boys, and Dixie Hummingbirds and stuff like that. So I didn't realize at that time that was really setting me up for what I, do now in a way.
Yeah. So you got into music pretty early, did you? And
Yeah.
how did you land on the guitar? How did that come about?
My older brother played in my father's church, so I probably started just kind of like seeing him play, and I was probably around 7 or 8, and then I just kind of picked it up, and I didn't even realize it at the time. It was almost like this kind of subconscious thing that I would just get the guitar. I just loved the guitar. I wanted to always have it in my hands, and it was something that kind of, I didn't even choose really to do it. It's just something that would come over me, where I would get this enormous excitement from the sound of the guitar, the way it looked, everything. And then him playing it and being right there, close to me. I could see him play, all the time,
Did you play in like worship bands in
Oh,
church?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's my earliest beginnings, It's kind of crazy because, with that being said, you're kind of playing in front of people from day one. I couldn't even really play all that well, but I kind of had on-the-job training how to even begin playing guitar, playing in my father's church, and it's kind of a different thing when you have to play in front of people. I think you get maybe better faster, and always having to try and accompany a singer that doesn't know the key they're in, doesn't really know the melody all the way, and you have to kind of some kind of way make it sound presentable. So having that at an early age,
it's like a phrase we have in my band: rehearsal. We can do that at the gig.
Yeah, I do that a lot. I don't really like to rehearse too much.
So, but you got a break pretty early on. How did you bump into Kim Wilson?
Oh wow, that was quite a bit later. In between that, I had went through all of the gospel bands, R&B bands, and all of this different kind of stuff.
This was in your school years, was it? In high school
years?
Yeah,
a lot of school years and stuff like that. I didn't run into Kim Wilson probably until I had graduated high school. And I had played with like all the harmonica players around the West Coast for a couple of years, and Al Blake from the Hollywood Fats Band, and Linwood Slim, James Harmon, and all of these different guys. And then, I met Kim Wilson through Al Blake, and we kind of hit it off, and he had this blues band, and I really wanted to be in Kim Wilson's blues band, so that's sort of how
this
that
wasn't
happened.
This wasn't the Fabulous Thunderbirds, was it?
No, not yet. I had played with Kim Wilson in the blues band first.
Yeah.
Then I played with Charlie Musselwhite, and then I got the call to join the Fabulous Thunderbirds for a couple of years.
Yeah. Did you tour with Charlie?
Oh, yeah. I toured with Charlie for about 2 years, I believe. we toured everywhere, Europe, the States a lot, and everything. And it was right before his sort of connection with like Ben Harper and Cyndi Lauper. It was like a little bit before all that, you know.
Yeah. He's still making great records, isn't he, Charlie?
He's making great records. He's a really good friend. And I really had a good time playing with Charlie. And I learned a lot about myself and my own playing and how to get my own style, you know.
Yeah. Because your playing sort of evolved before your singing, didn't it? You did a lot of instrumental tracks.
Oh, yeah. And then my first couple records were actually me playing guitar with other singers, you know.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, at that time, that was really cool, and I was really appreciative of that. But I feel like, as a blues musician, I think that singing and writing your own songs is very important. And I always kind of knew that I wasn't going to be I couldn't make it work to just be just the instrumental guitar player or the guitar player in a band, because I had a lot to say, you know.
Yeah.
So I figured I better start singing, because I tried to even do like the instrumental thing, and and I was influenced by people at that time, by like Nick Curran and Gary Clark Jr. early on, and all these guys who were their own men. You know, they could sing, they could write songs, they could play, and they could front their own band. And I just really was inspired by that. You know, I better try and do the same thing.
Yeah, it's interesting that, isn't it? Because I think Clapton found that too. He had to learn to sing, really. And he's a great singer. I mean,
really great.
But you know, the guitar can talk, the guitar can sing, but somehow it's not enough. It's interesting, that, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, Ronnie Earl definitely was incredible doing that, but I'm no Ronnie Earl. I mean, for blues music and that simplicity and that real heartfelt music and everything, I thought it was very important to express myself lyrically, writing my own songs and things, you know. Yeah. So, that was about, you did a couple of albums before you started singing on them, didn't you? Yeah. My I'm Here and I'm Gone, my first one on JSP, and as well as Shades of Blue, I wasn't singing yet, you know. Yeah.
You're singing great on the new one.
Thank you so much.
We'll come to that. I first saw you play, I think, with the Fabulous Thunderbirds. I think it was 2007.
Oh yeah.
The London Astoria.
Oh yeah.
I was there with Paul Jones. We did an interview with Kim,
cool.
and I stayed to see the show. Yeah, and,
that's really cool.
It was really good. What was the album? Painted On.
Painted On, yeah.
Painted On.
Absolutely.
It's a good record. Yeah.
Oh, thanks. That was a lot of fun to do for me. I mean, I'm like, wow, I get to record with these guys. It's funny that there's a connection between that record and I'm on VizTone Records now, and the guy Rosie from VizTone was connected with that record label that put out Tone Cool, that put out Painted On. So it's crazy we get to work together again, you know.
Yeah, and I loved that band then. I was in a band in the 80s that was very much based on the Fabulous Thunderbirds. So that
cool.
sort of simplicity, direct feel, you know, nothing wasted, it felt like.
You know, that's funny you brought that up about the T-Birds. You know what I've been listening to a lot lately, just digging it so much, was Rockpile with Dave Edmunds and Nick. I mean,
Dave Edmunds and Nick Lowe, yeah.
The songwriting, the singing, I mean, they were incredible. What an incredible band.
There's
and Nick,
some great albums there. My favorite one, I think it's called Repeat When Necessary.
Oh, yeah.
Really
I know that record.
Great record.
Oh, my God.
Dave Edmunds would produce Nick Lowe. Nick Lowe would produce Dave Edmunds. And never quite sure where the dividing line was. What a band. Yeah, Dave's been very ill, of course, recently.
Yeah, I heard about that. Kim Wilson used to always speak very highly of Rockpile and Dave Edmunds and Nick Lowe. He really, and I think they produced a few of the Fabulous Thunderbirds records too. Yes.
Yeah.
What a time. I mean, for that kind of next generation of rock and roll and blues. I mean, the early 80s, wow.
I was talking to someone about this the other day. That sort of R&B, that sort of blues, the Dr. Feelgood, the Rockpile,
Wickle Johnson,
all came about. It sort of coincided with punk here, and to me, it felt like punk blues.
Yeah,
blues
it
band,
really
but
did.
Yeah.
That's very interesting to say. Like Wilco Johnson and Dr. Feelgood. I mean, that's like right in there. You know, that's right in there with those kind of bands too. You know, Rockpile and all that's real. Yeah, it's tough, but it's yet still has a lot of integrity and cool, catchy tunes, and produce really cool. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Very playable records to this day as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when did the Managed Boys come about?
The Managed Boys. I was still a member of the Fabulous Thunderbirds when I first started recording with them, and then I left the Fabulous Thunderbirds in 2007, and they were starting to tour, so we toured a little bit and recorded. It's just sort of a kind of a. I mean, I always looked at the Managed Boys as not really like a real band. But just a collective of different people, blues musicians, and I mean, I'm playing with Kid Ramos and all of these guys, Frank Goldwasser, friends, so it's really easy to play with those people, and I have connections. I had connections with other previous bands that all came together to play in the band. So it was all Finest Tasby, all these people. Yeah, just a big blues festival.
Yeah. It's, I mean, on a smaller scale, you have like a blues community over here, really, kind of. Everybody knows everybody. People move in and out of various permutations of things. And the States is a much bigger scale, of course, but...
it's like their little pockets. It's like the California scene, the Texas scene, the Chicago, New York. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So... But how did things like the Cyndi Lauper thing come about? Did you play on her Memphis Blues record? Did you play on that?
I actually only done one show with Cyndi Lauper, like a benefit concert. I was supposed to. Charlie Musselwhite kind of put my name in the hat, and they auditioned me and everything, and I pretty much had the gig, but it didn't work out. I think the other guitar player, who was like Mike Tolles, decided to stay on with the band, so I didn't never really tour with her. But I played one gig with her, and that was cool to me. I had a good time,
Yeah,
pretty crazy.
It's interesting when these artists who aren't known in that blues world have
exactly.
have a go at it. Is the wrong phrase, but they sort of feel they want to express that emotion.
I noticed. I lived in Nashville a few years ago, and I noticed that the Americana artists and the different country artists and things. There's a lot of blues fans that aren't necessarily blues musicians or kind of that don't fly under that, handle of being a blues musician. But there's a lot of love for the blues by some of these artists, and they really know the blues and the tones and the phrasing and the singing and all of those things. So,
I mean, it's interesting what's happening in Nashville now. It's becoming a much broader town, isn't it? Music,
absolutely.
It's just becoming music town, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it really is. A lot of retro, well, not retro, but a lot of classic sounds, and the producers. Dave Cobb is incredible. Jason Isbell, all those guys are really great.
Yeah. And also, talking of legendary places as well, Fame Studios, where you. Heartache by the Pound, the album you recorded there.
Yeah.
And how did that come about? And teaming up with Richard Cousins, Robert Cray's co-writer and bass player.
Well, that's very simple. We went. One of the last places I played before the pandemic was the UK, and after returning home, I had this crazy feeling like if I had never got a chance to record another record, and if it's gonna be weird and everything, I said, you know what I want to do? I want to record, because like Joe Bonamassa, who's a good friend of mine, and all of these friends done records at places that they considered the end-all, be-all, iconic, recording. And I'm like, well, you know what? I need to do that. So I said, I'm going to save up my money here any way I can, and I'm going to do a record at the place that I consider the Holy Grail, the Mecca, in Fame Studios, that place, I mean, we're talking Wilson Pickett, the Staple Singers, and it's almost like Otis Rush Morning in the Morning. It's almost like a melding pot of blues, soul, rock and roll, some country. It's like a Fame to me was one of the most important recording studios. So I was like, I'm going to save up and I'm going to do a record there. And it's crazy because when I made up in my mind that that's where I'm going to do it, and I talked to a friend of mine, Mick Hayes, who had recorded there already. He said, you got to do it, Kurt. And the songs just kind of came out. And I talked to Richard Cousin, who's another soul music fanatic like myself, and we were both living in Switzerland at the time. I don't live there anymore, but he's still there.
Yeah.
And, we hit it off, and it was just incredible. The songs came out so easy. Once I made up in my mind I wanted to do it there, because I could really feel like what kind of record I want to make,
Yeah, it's great to see him back with Robert Cray as well.
Yeah,
he really belong.
Sure.
They belong together.
Absolutely.
Those two. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I really love that guy.
Yeah. Reese Winans was on that record as well. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, it is funny because Reese was like this ambassador. He was the coolest guy because, he had been there before, to fame and everything. So to have his presence and his talent just made everything really cool for me. He was so nice and so kind and, totally there for the right reasons and worked hard and, just him and my buddy Randy Bermudez, I mean, it was just a really joyful experience.
Well, was that before you played with Joe or after then?
No, that was after for sure.
It was after.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to get the time, and that was Reese playing with Joe when you were doing Muddy Wolf and Theatre and those things. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was the one for Muddy Wolf and for the Three Kings, I think. I've only done a couple projects with Joe, and I think Reese was the one playing on both those, and that's where we really hit it off,
Yeah.
I mean, on a personal friendship kind of.
I liked the Three Kings show. I thought was really good. I saw
that was a lot of fun.
Really good fun. Yeah.
Reese is a good man. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, sort of a mainstay of Joe's band now for some years.
For many years.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope you don't mind talking about it. Tell me if you do. But a couple of years ago, you suffered a stroke on stage.
Oh yeah. I don't mind talking about it. I mean, what can you do, really? I mean, I'm just glad to be here and to be able to play as much as I can. About a couple of years ago, I was living in Nashville, like I mentioned before, and on stage at the Eastside Bowl, I just collapsed. I had a stroke on stage at the Eastside Bowl, and I was playing with JD Simo, and that was July 3rd, 2023 or 2, something like that, and my whole world kind of turned upside down, and I really was forced to just not know what the outcome was going to be, but just kind of try and figure it out from there. And it's been a process this whole time, and I had started recording this record right before, and then I finished it after my stroke.
Right.
So.
Okay. Did you have to regain some mobility? Did it affect you?
For sure. Okay. From the time that I had it and I was in the hospital rehabilitating until now, it's been a definite a process. And I know I still have limitations and stuff, but not enough to not make me have a good time. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't sound like you're limited on this new record to keep on pushing. So you're talking to JD Simo. He co-produced with you. Yeah.
We just, what were we going to say? I was just going to say we went. Yeah.
Transatlantic delays.
Yeah.
I was going to say, did he help pick the songs? Because you got some interesting songs there. Some long lost little chestnuts you seem to have found there.
Well, on this one, I picked most of the songs myself, but I was really looking for somebody to help me sonically, kind of point me in the direction of the sound that I had heard in my head, and he was really, helpful with that in choosing to record at Joe McMahon in East Nashville at his studio, and that was kind of a friendship and everything that kind of spawned from that, as well as the musicians I had heard. Jason Schmay, who plays with his son, McKinley James, and Ron Oath, who's a legend. He played with Levon Helm, and the Kate brothers, and he's from that kind of world. So he's like really good, you know.
They all sound, well, you all sound totally at ease with yourselves on that record. It just sounds really cool. That band swings, it really does.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I really love those guys. Yeah.
It sounds like a band playing live on the floor. Is that how you went for it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We all played live on the floor. We only done maybe 1 or 2 takes. One, if we could help it. If there wasn't any crazy mistakes, we just done 1 take, you know.
Yeah.
And it was just the man, his guitar, with some guys, and we played. That was it. First time I've ever really done that, you know. I always kind of record live, but not in that way. Not where drums are bleeding into everything, you know, kind of in a house, you know.
It all just becomes part of the mix, doesn't it? And that
a bigger sound.
If you just place things carefully in the room, and you can get that all going.
Yeah.
Because your guitar sound is great. I mean, how did you have that? Did you have that in the room or in a separate?
Well, Joe has a sort of a deal in his kitchen. He kind of puts the guitar amp in his kitchen, and he has it. He's a real tone connoisseur, and I play through like a small Premier amp with like 1 speaker. And he had like probably 10 or 15 amps I tried. And something about that Premier amp, it didn't totally fold when you kind of crank it up. It kind of stayed a little bit clean, but yet had enough girth to the sound that I didn't use any pedals. I didn't use anything. I just plugged straight in and played the ambience from the kitchen, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like a lot of room mics or something. It's got that real old school or an authentic sound to it. Somehow.
Yeah, very, very inspiring to play with that tone. Even with my headphones, it was inspiring. You know? Yeah.
I mean, some great songs, and I love Just a Dream. You do a great vocal on that one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Interesting lyric, too.
Yeah, I've always liked that song. I first heard Big Bill Brucey probably 25 years ago do that song, and I always liked the lyric, you know, I played Policy, but that was just a dream, you know. I dreamed I played the horses. I always loved that song. I mean, most of those songs are just little songs that I got from people. I mean, some songs I played guitar with Jennifer Magnus, and she does like 24 hours a day. I know it's been done before, but that's always been a fun song. You know?
Yeah. And the thing is, every dog has its day. That licks along quite nicely too, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, every dog has his day. Yeah, that song. That's just fun, you know. I mean, I didn't really think about it more than I just wanted to do some covers and play the blues, you know.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite. I think my favorite one on there though is Here in the Dark.
Oh yeah, T-Bone Walker.
Hidden away near the end. Yeah, T-Bone Walker song, but that's a great one.
The original recording of that is such a mood, it's such a vibe, you know.
Yeah.
That you can really feel that he was in the dark, you know. I mean, you can T-Bone Walker. I mean, what can I say?
But I guess a lot of the young audience. Hopefully they will be young. They're not going to know these songs. You're going to be introducing them to them.
Well, I hope so. I hope so. I really do. You know, that's half the reason why I do all of this. I realized during the pandemic that's what's one of the most important things for me. You know, is like exciting the younger next generation to what I was excited about. And making everybody excited and really just talking about blues and what I love about blues and all of those things. That's the reason why I got into this music anyway. So, you know, at the end of the day, if I could talk about blues or blues guitar or singing or the music, I'm pretty much happy. You know, really.
Are there any? Is there a young player or singer that comes to mind that you like at the moment?
Yeah, Sean McDonald, Mac McDonald. He's a fantastic guitar player, singer. You know, he's young. You know, I mean, all of these kids, you know, like D.K. Harrell and like Sean McDonald and so many of them. I mean, you know, we have Kingfish and all of these players, but we really have a good it's a good time for younger players right now, you know, I think. And I feel old. I'm not even 50 yet, but these kids are like half my age.
Yeah, well, it's not all youth; it's experience too. So, what's the scene like in the States at the moment? Is it healthy, or how's it going?
In California? In California, no. I mean, thank goodness for Cadillac Zach, but it doesn't really. No, it's not that healthy here in California as far as the live scene. I mean, yeah, I don't really know. Maybe Chicago, you can see live music 7 nights a week still, or New Orleans, you definitely can, And there's certain spots here in the States, but a lot of stuff, I lived in Switzerland for 5 years, and different places in Europe, it seems like they still have like a little bit of a thing, bringing the arts over, music and different things like that. And they have an appreciation for blues music and festivals and things like that, So
we definitely notice that here in the UK that if you get to go and play in mainland Europe, you're treated better. There's a lot more gigs and festivals going on. There seems to be and the local government and the councils seem to think it's a good thing to have an arts centre or a music club or whatever, and they'll help fund it. Definitely not the case in the UK right now. It's a struggle.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to remain optimistic and everything like that, and I think that, we just have to really just work hard and just put out music and things like that and just keep going, I mean, I don't want to stop.
No,
I'm not going to stop.
But, it's definitely a fitting moment that we all just need to keep going.
Yeah.
And,
I think that thing through the, time, it's always... Every 10, 20 years, there's always a resurgence of blues and things. Like 70s might have been a kind of weird time for blues. The 80s kind of revival kind of came in the 90s to mid-90s. That was kind of a bluesy thing. Maybe it died down a little bit, and maybe I think we're waiting on the next big thing.
I think there's definitely a demand for authentic music now, whether it's, country is hugely popular here in the UK now as well.
It's really cool.
And people are looking for some authenticity.
Yeah.
And also some of the gigs over here now, like $500 to go and see a band in a football stadium. How many $20 bands could you see in a club for that money?
It is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, and I was going to say about Croak on the album. That's kind of not old. That's kind of what I expect you to be like in a way. I kind of go, that's unmistakably Kirk Fletcher there on that one. And then
thank you.
But as I say, some great vocals. You're singing great now. You're playing great.
Thank you.
I
appreciate it.
I shall finish by just asking you when we might see you over here again.
Ooh, that is a question right there. I'm not sure. I don't have anything playing on the books, but I'm really jonesing to get over to the UK because I haven't been since before the pandemic. Time marches on and it waits for nobody. We got to keep on pushing.
Yeah, there you go.
So hopefully next year sometime. Hopefully maybe this time next year. I would love to come over. I got to try and put the feelers out and stuff like that, and at least do Pizza Express or something.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
I see you're coming over to mainland Europe for a couple of, is it festivals or shows?
Yeah, that'll be fun. It's always fun. It's fun to kind of be anywhere right now after going through all I've went through in the last couple of years. It's kind of good
I hear you.
Be anywhere.
Yeah.
I just want to add, too, that, my new record, Keep On Pushing, is on the Vistone label, and I'm really happy and excited and proud of what they've done, working with them and everything. It's been really a good experience for me, and they've really taken care of a lot of things for me, as far as promotion and things like that. It's really a great team. Couldn't be happier, really.
That's good to find these days, because,
absolutely.
Sometimes you think, do I need a record label or not? Do I not need a record label?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It is sort of more of a modern approach where, it's not like a traditional record label where, you sign away everything, you don't get too much in return. It's sort of like a partnership sort of. So you actually
I think that comes when you have a smaller label where you actually know the people who are involved. It's not just a big corporation that you owe a lot of money to.
Yeah.
And it becomes a more sort of symbiotic relationship.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
I think it's cool.
More power to you, Kirk.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.